Hello and welcome everyone once again to our lecture series on our subject strength of materials. This is our 7th lecture on our first unit moment of inertia. From last 4-5 lectures we are studying different numericals. We are going to continue with numericals in this particular lecture also. Okay, so today let us begin our first numerical or the only numerical for today's lecture, the 13th numerical. Calculate moment of inertia of a T section about the centroidal x-axis axis. Top flange is 1200 mm into 200 mm and wave is 1800 mm into 200 mm. Total height is 2000 mm. Okay, so what they have asked us? They have asked us to calculate the moment of inertia of the T section. So first we should know what is the exact section. Here the section is the T section. T section is the section which resembles T in its size or its shape. Okay, it will look as a T part. Of that we have to calculate its centroidal x-axis moment of inertia. Now here what is given? The top flange for that is 1200 mm into 200 mm and wave is 1800 mm into 800 mm. Now remember, generally the value that is given first, that is if 1200 into 200 is given, when the bigger value is given, generally it is of horizontal dimension for the flange. Okay, now suppose as you can see over here, if this is a T section, now what is flange? This part, the upper portion of the T is called as flange and the bottommost portion or the vertical portion of the T section is called as wave. Now for this T section, when we look at the flange particularly, when it is given 1200 mm into 200 mm, then 1200 indicates its length or its breadth and 200 mm indicates its height or depth. Similarly, when the dimension of wave is given, the first quantity, that is 1800 mm, indicates the depth or the height of the flange. Okay, and 200 mm indicates the depth of the flange. Remember that. Okay, so for the flange, the first quantity generally resembles the breadth, and for wave, the first quantity generally resembles its height or depth. Okay, now the total height is given as 2000 mm. So we can see over here this 200 of the topmost part, that is our flange, and this 1800 mm of our wave totals to 2000 mm. Okay, so remember in this particular question diagram is not provided. You have to draw the diagram and then you have to proceed forward. Okay, this question was also asked for 4 marks. Now let us write the given values. Now remember, when T section is given, what you can see for the T section, remember if I draw a line over here, suppose if I am drawing a line over here, then you can see 2 rectangles. One rectangle is a vertical rectangle and another rectangle is a horizontal rectangle. If suppose the bottom rectangle I denoted by 1 and the uppermost rectangle if I denoted by 2, then the dimensions of the wave rectangle or the rectangle of the wave or the first rectangle will be denoted by B1 and D1. So B1 is the width or breadth of the first rectangle and D1 is the depth of the first rectangle. Okay, and B2 similarly the second rectangle will be of the flange portion or the topmost rectangle. So for that B2 or the breadth of the second rectangle is 1200 mm and its depth is 200 mm. Okay, now they have specifically asked us to find out the moment of inertia about the centroidal x-axis. So we have to find moment of inertia about x-axis, that means we have to find I-x. Okay, so here also as 2 sections are there, 2 rectangles are there, first rectangle and second rectangle is added to the first rectangle, we have to use the formulas that we have used during the composite sections. Okay, so for that Ixx will be equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2, where the moment of inertia of the total horizontal centroidal axis of this whole plane will be equal to the individual moment of inertia of the first plane and the individual moment of inertia of the second plane about that centroidal axis. Which centroidal axis? The total centroidal axis of the whole plane. Okay, now as we did in our last examples, first we have to find out the y bar. So y bar is a1 y1 plus a2 y2 upon a1 plus a2. Remember here again I am telling you, when we have to use the plus sign, when one plane is added to another plane, then we are going to use the plus sign. Okay, so using that logic, y bar will be equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 upon a1 plus a2, where a1 is the area of the first rectangle and a2 is the area of the second rectangle. Y1 is the distance or the location of the horizontal central axis from the bottommost part, and y2 is the location of the horizontal central axis of the topmost part from the bottom. Okay, so as first part is rectangle, a1 will be equal to b1 into d1, so that will be equal to 200 into 1800, and that will give us 360 into 10 raised to 3 mm square. Similarly, a2 is equal to b2 into d2, as it is also a rectangle, and that will give us 240 into 10 raised to 3 mm square. Now we have to find y1. So as I have told you, what is y1? Y1 is the distance of the horizontal central axis of the first plane with the bottommost part. So y1 will be equal to d1 by 2. Why? It will be between, or it will be at the center of the first plane or the first rectangle. That is equal to 1800 by 2. That will give us 900 mm. Similarly, y2 is what? Y2 is the distance of the horizontal central axis of the second rectangle from the base or from the bottom. So that now this second rectangle begins after 1800 mm from the bottom. So I have taken 1800 plus d2 by 2. Correct over here? It will be d2 by 2 over here. Okay, it will be d2 by 2. So 1800 plus d2 by 2 will give us 1800 plus 200 by 2. So that is equal to 1900 mm. Okay, so that will be our y2. So putting those value in this formula, what we will get? Y bar is equal to 360 into 10 raised to 3 into 900 plus 240 into 10 raised to 3 into 1900 upon 360 into 10 raised to 3 plus 240 into 10 raised to 3. So we will have y bar as 1300 mm. So our y bar will be somewhere over here. Okay, our y1 would have been somewhere over here and y2 will be somewhere over here. Okay, so if this is xx, okay, if this is the distance of y1 from the bottommost and this is the distance of y2 from the bottommost section, so somewhere over here our x axis or the horizontal central axis of the whole plane will be there. Okay, now moving forward, now we have done with y bar, now we have to calculate ixx1 plus ixx2. Now again, as we have seen in the last question, here also what will be ixx1? Ixx1 is the moment of inertia of the first section or of the first plane with respect to the horizontal central axis of the whole plane. Okay, now the horizontal central axis of the first plane is parallel to the horizontal central axis of the whole plane. So here we have to use the parallel axis theorem. Okay, so ixx1 will be equal to b1 d1 cube upon 12. Why? Because this is the value of moment of inertia of a rectangular section about its horizontal central axis. So b1 d1 cube upon 12 plus a1 h1 square. So by using this parallel axis theorem, now here h1 is what? h1 is the distance between our xx axis and the 1 1 axis or the first axis. So how much it will be? It will be equal to y bar minus y1. And what is a1? a1 is the area of first section. So as we know the values of y bar, y1, b1, d1, a1, we can put those value over here and we can get the value of ixx1. So ixx1 is equal to 1.548 into 10 raised to 11 mm raised to 4. Okay, in the same way we can calculate ixx2. Now remember, second section is also a rectangular section. So the formula there will be also equal to b2 d2 cube upon 12 plus a2 h2 square. Make correction over here. Here it will be a2 h2 square, where h2 is equal to y bar minus y2. Okay, so b2 that is given as 1200, d2 is given as 200, a2 we have calculated and its value is 240 into 10 raised to 3. Y bar we have calculated and it is 1300, and y2 is equal to 1900. Okay, now some of you might be wondering that if we subtract 1300 or 1900 from 1300, it will give a negative quantity. Don't worry about that, because why? We are taking the square. So So square of a negative will always be positive, so don't worry about that. Okay, just use directly this formula, you will get the required result. Okay, so Ixx2 is equal to 8.72 into 10 raised to 10 mm raised to 4. Now we have Ixx1 and Ixx2. By adding these two terms, what we will get? We will get the final value of Ixx. Okay, so by adding Ixx1 plus Ixx2, what we have? We have Ixx is equal to 2.42 into 10 raised to 11 mm raised to 4. Okay, so this is our final answer. Okay, once again, this question was asked in previous year's question paper, so please go through this properly. Okay, there will be different methods in different books. Okay, what I am doing, the method that generally is followed by me is of addition. I am adding one section to another section. So from that we will have Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2. Then we will calculate y bar. After calculating y bar, we will calculate Ixx1. Then we will calculate Ixx2. And finally we will add this Ixx1 and Ixx2 and we will get Ixx. And in this particular case, the value of Ixx is equal to 2.42 into 10 raised to 11 mm raised to 4. Okay, many of the times I have seen that students miss this unit. Okay, generally in examination they don't see the units, as we have seen in our photocopy. Sometimes they don't look at the units, they give marks, but don't take risk. Okay, try to by heart the unit also. Okay, again, if you have any doubt, you can go through the description box, you can go to our Telegram channel and you can post your doubts over there. We are there to take your doubts and clear it. Okay, so that's all for today. We'll meet in our next section or next session. Thank you.